I have recently finished playing Red Dead Redemption 2 for the second time around, and after crying a lot, I was thinking I need myself a gunslinger Warframe. Luckily enough, we have Mesa, and in today's build, you have it all. You have red crits without that much investment, you have survivability, and, well, I at least have loads of fun with this Warframe, so hopefully you do too. Let's hop into the video. I've known Mesa ever since she came out, all powerful and mighty. Before, you used to only look in one direction and she would destroy completely everything, if not entire rooms. But nowadays, you sort of have to aim with her, but she is still incredibly good. One of my most fun Warframes. So let's get into this fun Warframe with the passive being. If you are using dual-wielded sidearms, you will get a 15% fire rate. If you're using a one-handed one, you will get 25% reload speed, and if you have no melee weapon, you will gain 50 health. Sadly, we're not gonna have that extra 50 health, but where the first ability is something that she has, well, doing damage with your weapons will accumulate up and be stored up in one ginormous blast. It's pretty good, but we need survivability, so pillage. Why pillage? This is gonna be our golden ability. This gives us three incredibly good things. First of all, armor stripping enemies, very nice. Second of all, status cleanse, which is even better. Third, giving us loads of overshields, and this ability is gonna pair well with your other ability. I'll talk about that in just a second. Keeping in mind that if you press pillage again while it's already active, you can actually retract the ability, or I guess bring back all the armor and shields that you have stolen, giving yourself overshields. So that's a really good tip to keep in mind. I've actually just figured that out today, so that's very interesting. Hopefully you like that. The second ability is shooting gallery. Is something you should definitely like. This is gonna give you a damage bonus, and it is also gonna jam the guns of the enemies nearby. This ability, if you're in a squad, it is gonna jump from each one of your squad mates then to you. If you're playing solo, this is gonna be incredibly good, and keep this active all of the time. Shatter Shield is the third ability. This is Pillage's a perfect match. It's Valentine's date, as some would say. This will give you 95% damage reduction onto your shields, reflecting basically every incoming projectile. Keeping in mind, melee enemies can fully almost strip your shields, but we're gonna be a little bit careful and we're gonna shoot them down before they get to us. Nonetheless, this ability is incredibly good. With this ability active, they basically just chip away at your shields, and you're gonna be chipping away at them with your fourth ability, the Peacemakers, the exalted or secondary of Mesa. This is simply amazing. First of all, you activate this ability, you whip them out, put yourself in a wide leg stance, seeing that beautiful Djibouti, and you start gunning them down. What happens here is all of the shots have 300% critical multiplier, 25% critical chance, and also 10% status chance. All of those stats are pretty decent. We're gonna increase those a little bit later, but it also has full accuracy. You cannot activate any other abilities while this one is active, but you can roll with her augment versus volts. You can also move around, and this is gonna help you out a lot with survivability. You might be thinking how? We'll get to it in just a second. Nonetheless, an incredibly good ability. Your field of view does get smaller and smaller the more you use the ability, and you can shoot less and less targets, but reactivating the ability is gonna save you also from getting knocked down, so that's pretty cool. But you bored with these abilities, let's get into the damn build. Well, the main and the only build I use on Mesa is gonna be this one. We have Pistol, Amp in the Aura slot, Mesa's Volts as we mentioned earlier. We do have Power Strength, loads of it, Blind Rage and Umbral Intensify. That is mostly because of the second ability and also the damage multiplier on your fourth ability. For survivability, we have Rolling Guard for duration, Constitution, Prime Continuity, and for energy, well, loads. We have Prime Flow, we have Equilibrium, and we have Arcane Energize. I would recommend all three of these. If you're gonna use Transient Fortitude instead of Blind Rage, you can probably swap out Arcane Energize for another one. Arcane Velocity is here to increase our fire rate on our secondaries, but you can, and I do recommend, you use Arcane Avenger. That is because of the next thing coming up. Well, not the next thing, but the next thing. The next thing is gonna be the Regulators, and this is the Regulators build. Now, you might be wondering, where's Hornet Strike. And why is Galvanized Shot here? Well, Galvanized Shot is actually going to help us out, at least in my testing, much more than Hornet Strike is. I do much more damage considering we're going to be focusing on a lot of heat damage and also corrosive. It is going to be perfect. You already have the critical damage, you already have the critical chance through other means, so everything here is pretty much set up. You can use Hornet Strike, but it's completely up to you. And now probably the most controversial part of this video is going to be the Archon Shards. Yes, I do have 5 Archon Shards tile forged. For every single one of them, they're going to be increasing my critical chance by a max of 75%, totaling out at 375%. If you didn't click off the video just yet, you do not need all of these. Why do I use them? Because I love Mesa. How many do you need? You need 4 would be incredibly perfect, but trust me, having the Archon Shards is going to help out a lot. If you love this Warframe, having them is incredible. If you don't, put them on and trust me, you will. Nonetheless, you can also utilize the red critical chance for your secondary ones. Do not utilize Power Strength that much because Power Strength is going to be less effective than actually utilizing the critical chance. Now we want to talk about the weapons, and here's where the tips and tricks really begin. First of all, we have our primary, the turret. This is what the build looks like. This is going to be for killing exactly 100 enemies. Then the secondary is going to be the Icarius Prime. With the secondary build, it is up on screen, but not that important. The Arcane is though secondary outburst. With secondary outburst, you will completely suck up all of your, take up all of your combo counter from your melee weapon and turn it into critical chance and critical damage, maxing out at 240%, which is very nice. Now, if you use the Venka, you can actually go up to 260%, so keep that in mind. And talking about melee weapons, the one that we're going to be using is going to be the Ceramic Dagger. The Ceramic Dagger is incredibly good because of its second evolution, where if you gain 100 kills with your primary, you're going to gain initial combo. Alongside Covert Lethality, giving you even more initial combo is going to be very good alongside Corrupt Charge and all the mods on screen. You can pretty much see them. There's a lot of combo here. We do not need damage. We need 3 or 4 swings and gain 12x, and that's basically it. Melee Crescendo is not a must. You can use it, you don't necessarily need to, but for example, you can do a couple of finishes, maybe mix up the gameplay a little bit. We need the focus school of choice, and believe it or not, this is a gaming weasel first, and we're not going to be using Madurai. We're going to be using Naramon. Naramon for our combo. Instead of completely disappearing, or going to the initial combo, it is going to be reducing slowly over time. So I would definitely recommend you get this one. For the companion, the Adarza Kavat. I love the Adarza Kavat. We have many different cool things here. First of all, Cat's Eye increases your critical chance. Very nice. You need that. We have Seismic Bond. Whilst an ability is active, a channeled one, which is your 4th, you will gain extra efficiency, which is even better. Tenacious Bond, even better. Here we gain critical damage, and you can also use Tandem Bond for when your companion attacks enemies, it's gonna build up your combo, so that's even better, keeping your combo at 12x pretty much all of the time, not needing to worry about it at all. And this is the Claws build. This is gonna be incredibly good. We have Magnetic, we have actual crowd controlling here because it's gonna knock some enemies down, and the Eximuses and their Overguard is not gonna be pretty much existent. Nonetheless, you do have your 4th, but the other companion, not all this in Cryocha. You can utilize this as well. It's pretty good, but I utilize the Adarza Kavat. Nonetheless, you might be wondering, how am I supposed to play this build? I love shooting and I want to shoot. So let's get those red crits. First of all, get 100 kills with your primary weapon. If you're not using the Ceramic Dagger, you can, as I mentioned earlier, use the Menka. This is the build. I'll actually place it up here to make it a little bit strange. So 260% on this one. If you want, you can. And then what you need to do is always have your Pillage active and your 3 active. Second as well, and then once you get those 100 kills, you can switch to your 4th ability and just start doing damage. Get your combo counter up as much as you possibly can, and honestly, you can wait for like 2 or 3 minutes without really worrying about your combo counter going down, and then reset it just a little bit, basically 1-2 strikes, there you go. And rinse and repeat. Get those red crits, kill enemies, survive in Steel Path, and you are going to be the happiest Warframe player out there. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, do leave a like, a comment, and do subscribe as well. All of those are very much appreciated. I'm very much wondering what you guys think of the build. I tried to make it not too much investment, but at least a little bit, because she does deserve it. It's easier to get Archon Shards now, and I think you can make this build very much viable in Steel Path because it is just so much fun. It's active and cool. And also, a like and subscribe, you know that always helps me. I'm trying to reach 19k pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited about that. And also, do become a channel member if you're interested. There's a couple of perks. I'm working on it. I don't do this full time. I do it for the funs of it and your guys' enjoyment. enjoyment. I love you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.